Next, Ukraine and Russia have blamed each other for the shelling of the Russian-occupied Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant. The attacks are said to have also hit nearby high-voltage power lines. Ukrainian and Western officials have accused Russian forces of using the complex to launch attacks, leaving the Ukrainians unable to respond for fear of causing a disaster. Ukraine's President Zelensky said the Kremlin must take responsibility for what he called a terror attack.
Today, the occupiers created another very dangerous situation for all of Europe. They shelled a nuclear power plant and have done it twice in a day. This is the largest nuclear station on our continent, and any shelling is an overt, blatant crime, a terrorist act.
Let's get the latest now. Our correspondent Hugo Pacheco is live for us in Kyiv. Hi there, Hugo. So stakes particularly high when, well, the largest nuclear power plant in Europe is at the centre of potential hostilities.
Yeah, we've heard that from President Zelensky, saying that Russia, again, was creating another extremely risky situation at the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant. Now, this is a complex that has been under Russian occupation since the very beginning of March, even though Ukrainian technicians are still operating the facility. Now, yesterday, tensions were high with Ukrainian and Russian officials trading accusations. The Ukrainians saying that Russian forces shelled the site twice. In one of those attacks, a reactor had to be disconnected, but we haven't had any kind of reports suggesting that there was any kind of radioactive leak. But the Russians are saying that, well, the Ukrainians were the ones behind these attacks, and they've described it as a criminal act. The reality is that for days we've been hearing from Ukrainian officials, also US officials, saying that the Russians have essentially turned this nuclear site into a military base. And in fact, yesterday I spoke with the mayor of the city of Nikopol, which is located near this nuclear plant. And he said that his city has been under constant shelling by Russian forces positioned at the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant. And he said that these forces are using this site as a nuclear shield.
And Hugo, just away from that, the incidents there, deeply troubling, of course, at the nuclear power plant. I want to just talk about grain, because we've been following it so closely, the resumption of those shipments. Where are we now? Is there expectation that the number of ships needed to try and get operations back up and running properly could start moving?
Yeah, it seems so far so good for this deal. 3 more ships left Ukraine yesterday, carrying almost 60,000 tons of corn. One of those ships is going to the UK. And the first ship to be loaded is expected to arrive in the next few days. So all of this obviously is happening under that landmark deal that was signed by Russia, Ukraine, the United Nations, Turkey, to allow Ukraine to resume its grain exports. Ukraine is one of the largest exporters of grain in the world, and the hope is that this deal will ease a global food crisis. So that's why everybody's paying attention to what's happening with these ships.
OK, Hugo, thanks very much for that update for us live there in Kyiv. Thank you.